had been going through a lot with my mother, right? And I'll confess, firstly, it was an act of rebellion. You know what I mean? Like, you don't tell me what to do. I am the boss of me and I'm going to rule myself. But acting wasn't always the first thing I did.
It wasn't the first thing that I
fresh
knew.
out of high school, I was signed to Gala Records and I was part of a group called Seed. Well, now that I'm older and wiser and stronger, I'm very good. I can actually speak about this. Okay. I think I went through a case of bullying and sexual harassment.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to yet another episode of Nontle Tema Talks Longevity. Can I get a round of applause, please? Woo! Please do like, subscribe, tell your friends that I'm back, and do comment and tell me what you think of the show and who would you like to have on the show. But of course, I'm not alone in the studio. I've got my a crew on the mic. So Les, can I hear you on the mic?
1 2 1 2 testing.
Why do you always have to be so sexy with the deep voice? Just speak up loudly so people can hear you.
Let's rock.
Let's rock. And the beautiful Princess P. How are you doing, darling?
Oh, well, thank you.
Isn't she adorable, everybody? All right, everybody. In today's show, we have an amazing guest. She is absolutely beautiful. And I've actually known this princess for many, many years in the entertainment industry. She's also related to Yvonne Chaka Chaka. She is a mother, an actress, a voiceover artist, and she does a lot of other different things in the industry. We're going to get to know her a little bit better. She goes by the name of... Are you guys ready?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes.
Drum roll, everybody. She calls herself Ruler of Self on Instagram. Ruler of Self. So she's basically all about self-mastery. But her real name is Thuli Thabethe.
Thank you for
Softer,
having
winning.
me. What a beautiful introduction.
Did I do gold?
Ngiyabonga.
Did I do gold?
Ukuthi sengikhulile manje, I like the sound of igama lami liphelele. It's Nokuthula. But for
Nokuthula.
industry purposes, you know, and for branding, you wanted to roll off the tongue and say Thuli Thabethe.
Thuli
But
Thabethe.
manje sengifuna ukuba uNokuthula.
I love that. Before we actually get started, I would, since we are on a show
Yes.
that is about longevity, and to stay on this journey of life for the long haul, you need to be healthy. And I'm talking spiritually, physically, emotionally. So with my supplement brand, Longevity Wellness,
Yes, girl.
we have vitamins.
Talk to me about it.
Yes. So you know other podcast hosts, they like make people drink whatever that they are affiliated with,
Okay.
like drinks.
Yes.
So here we pop pills.
Let's do it. I'm happy.
We don't drink the other stuff, but we pop this.
Thank you. So what is this?
Because we want you healthy. So you're going to just take 2 of those. It's called Longevity Wellness Replenish. It's vitamins B, C, D, E, all good things.
Nice.
And it helps with your skin. Also, it
I'm
just gives
about
you that.
that.
It's going to give you that energy for this interview so that you awaken and you are revitalized.
I like the fact that you've got your branded water as well as your supplements.
Darling, cheers to our branded
yes.
water.
Award-winning supplements.
Sizosebenzisa.
Love it.
I love you, Thuli. Oh my goodness. And you're actually going to start feeling the effects of our number one, Replenish, because she's number one.
Award-winning.
Everybody loves her.
Award-winning.
Oh, by the way,
Pass the brand.
by the way, are you aware that we just won an award?
I saw, girl. Ufika. Zisuka nje. Awusangizodlala wena. Mara kunjalo mas align ngithi.
Alignment.
Vuleka konke ngathi akukaze kwavaleka.
But also the brand is actually very, very incredible.
I love
It's
it.
natural. There's no preservatives. It's holistic. It's all just organic. And that's what I'm all about, that organic way of living and healing. It's literally your gateway to health
I love
and
it.
healing and wellness in all aspects of life.
Guys, it has everything.
It has everything.
Literally.
Everything.
Bathini labantu abancane, no cap. Everything.
Yeah.
So you say this is the girl she thinks she is.
Yeah.
I
She
like
is the
fact
girl
it's
that she thinks she
replenished.
is. I
Well,
like
since
that.
you're a branding maven, do you want to talk me through the certain names in terms of why you called certain products?
Well, it's a whole different story. Like, man, when I named Longevity Wellness, it was actually because I realized that a lot of people don't even get to live past 40. And making it past 40 is a gift.
Yes.
And I realized that life is actually very long and there's a long path ahead of us and we need this vessel, which is our bodies, our minds and souls, to carry our spirits through.
I love it. That's replenish.
So that's why I named the brand Longevity. And then the different products I
yes.
came up, because we've got 8 products, I came up with the different names just to also link everybody to God. Replenish, revive, restore,
Realign.
I love it.
realign, repair. Because I just wanted, once everybody gets on this path of longevity wellness, they realign with their maker. And who restores and preserves your vessel better than the one who made it?
Absolutely.
God himself.
I love the thinking process and the creativity and being intentional.
I was very
Like
intentional.
revival, replenish,
Realign, rejuvenate,
Restart.
restart. Because I also was speaking for my life. My life was restarting because I literally had to
Absolutely.
start my life from scratch.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I had to restart and I had to be repaired.
Yes.
And I had to be restored.
Yes.
Physically, I had to exercise to lose weight, look good. So everything is a process and everything is also the power of the tongue, I realized.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm picking up. Being very intentional.
And that's why I want to talk to you about you being intentional about now calling yourself. I know that's done. That's done. I want to get to know you more. That's actually why I have you here. I want to speak to you now about you being intentional, because I know you're also very spiritually, you're woke, awakened, woke.
Definitely.
I know you are very conscious
yes.
about life.
Go deeper.
And that's why I want to have you here. So when you started calling yourself ruler of self, I know there's a conscious reason behind it. Take us through why ruler of self, because I have my own understanding of ruler of self. I want to understand what point did you realize that you are ruler of self?
Okay. Thank you for that question. So I'm a storyteller.
I love it.
So in 2018, my Instagram got hacked into. And ukhumbule, we were still very naive at that time. We just kind of did whatever. So the person who decided to hack and steal my username had basically taken Thuli Thabethe. So in order to recover and get my name back, I had to change the username. And then you'll see, like on Instagram, it's first the username, then the actual name. I don't know if you know how it works.
Okay, got you.
So I had to change from Thuli Thabethe to ruler of self and then underscore Thuli Thabethe to get my name back. So first of all, it was a recovery strategy to get my Instagram back, because I was not going to start over. I don't even have like 1 million followers, but Leo 100,000 I had worked really hard for. So it was a recovery management system. And then secondly, I had been going through a lot with my mother, right? And I'll confess, firstly, it was an act of rebellion. You know what I mean? Like, you don't tell me what to do. I am the boss of me and I'm going to rule myself. And I remember my mom saying, yeah, yazi nokuthula uphelele mntwanami. Ngempela, you are a ruler of yourself in terms of inkani. And I was like, well, I'm glad you got that. And then a couple of years later...
Can I ask why you and your mom were going through...
Well, at the time, I was living at home and I had just... I wouldn't say I just had Rui. Rui was about 7 years old, my son. Okay. And it was just recovering, getting back on my feet. And obviously, once you've lived Guaco, you've done your own thing, you've run a household, you know, you kind of forget with so there were a lot of clashes.
Right.
You know what I mean? I have a way of doing things. My mother has a way of doing things. And you please bring me back.
No, it's okay. Don't worry. I got you.
Thank you. And then there was a day where I shouted at Ururu and he said, I'm going to tell Gogo on you.
Yes.
And I was mad at that because in that moment I had clocked that because I live at home with my child, my son had not identified me as an authority figure.
Yes. Exactly.
Right? You know what I mean? I'm going to tell Gogo on you.
Yes.
And I'm like, I'm the mother here. I'm in control here. So that's when I realized this is not going to work for me. And then obviously gathered my coins and moved out. But at the time, it was about rebellion.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, Mauti A to be CD. And I mean, this was definitely unhealed version of me. I didn't know what I know now, you know. And then over the years, I got diagnosed. In fact, a year later, I was living undiagnosed, just unhinged. Like biblically, when you're just in the wilderness and you don't even know what's going on with depression and anxiety. Okay. And I would have episodes act out because I didn't know. So I eventually found out, got officially diagnosed, and I was like, oh, this is what it is. And then I became more intentional because of the overthinking, because of the symptoms of anxiety, imposter syndrome, overthinking, self-sabotage, not being able to sleep gahle, or just struggling with myself and my inner man. And then I started to realize that I had to rule self.
Rule myself.
As in all things self, self-mastery, as you said, self-image, self-discipline, self-regulation, self-motivation, self-inspiration, self-respect. So I had to rule myself in terms of my thoughts, my feelings, and how I conducted myself, because there was this, I don't want to own it, but, now that you have this thing called depression and anxiety, and I'm intentional not owning it. Mine.
No, because it's not something that you want.
But I am confronted with symptoms, and when these symptoms come and show up, how am I navigating to rule myself? So that won't be a problem.
Because also, I like that because you're taking accountability.
Absolutely.
Ruler of self is actually owning yourself and your choices and taking accountability, because at the end of the day, you're the only one that can save yourself.
Absolutely.
Truly. If you want to be rebellious, disrespectful, let me just say to moms, and go against what the Bible says, which says honor your parents, and you decide, listen, my mom and I've had enough, you will have to pay the price for that disobedience.
Girl, and I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
I paid the cost.
Oh, wow.
Where's my camera? It will cost you.
Right.
To
I
not
figured.
honor your mother and your father. You know what I mean? And the price is not even about monetary value.
No.
It will cost you in
peace,
in your peace,
blessings,
in your blessings, in your spirituality, in being settled.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not being makuthoma akahlaliseki ngoba akayedwa or akekho settled because they're not healed or they haven't confronted their demons. You become very problematic.
Are you a generational curse breaker in your bloodline?
Yeah, I'm a goat mean. I'll tell you why. That's what they say. They say the black sheep ends up becoming the goat. So I'm a cycle breaker. That's for sure.
Because that's me. I'm the cycle breaker.
I'm cycle breaker.
So because we are here, if you identify yourself as a generational curse breaker, as a cycle breaker, we are here to heal our lineage, to heal from patterns that caused dysfunction in our bloodlines, which could be rebellion, which could be anger, which could be disrespect or arrogance, pride. There's a whole list of all these spirits, because everything is a spirit, by the way. Like all those.
Defiance was mine. Like you couldn't tell me anything.
Stubborn.
Inkani. Girl. You know what I mean?
Gushkuti, it's been in your lineage.
Absolutely.
All these years.
Yes.
And you know how to break cycles. Have you figured it out?
I'm actually in the journey of it, so I wouldn't say I figured it out, but I think I cracked the cheat code. It's an ongoing thing, so I can do it, but I've definitely clocked it, as the young ones say. So I wouldn't say that it's a done deal, because just like healing, it's ongoing.
Yes, definitely.
The breaking of curses is, for me, was the first step was to ask the question, why am I the way I am?
Okay.
Why do I do the things that I do?
Right.
And why do we do the things that we do?
Yeah.
And why do we get along? Or why do we allow certain people in our family to get away with certain things? Because certain people, because of who they are and what they do, they don't get questioned. So it started off with like, nenkani, we are delela, I left when we are right. And I had to understand it, because I wouldn't say that I was told this, but I was always told that I was problematic. You're such a black sheep. And, when we go left, when you go right. And then I started to inquire, which like, why do I not do well with authority? you know? And why are you not asking why are you so quick to say, "Unenkani," and you're defiant? Why don't you ask why? What is it about our family makeup, the dysfunction and the dynamics that make you question? Because I come from a family of very strong matriarchs, ababuza, you know. So it's like, you do what I tell you to do. Why? Because I said so. And I'm just like, well, monkey see, monkey do. I'm gonna do what you do. And right now, you have a problem with me speaking to you the way that I am. I don't know where I learned that from. So for me, it was questioning, right? And that's where I started. And then through a spiritual journey, then I realized, Uguti, okay, we're going to have to... I mean, at the time, like, do you think Neo knows? Sorry if I'm digressing. At the time when Morpheus is confronting Neo, do you think Neo knows he's the one? No. But he's confronted by all these scenarios that make him, and challenges that make him, first of all, what's the word? How do they say it? Paulo Coelho says, before you accept the truth, you reject it in its entirety. And then you're brought to your knees. And then you get to the state of consciousness. Then you ask, why? And then God is like, that's exactly where I want you. The fact that you why, then I can step in. You are navigating yourself. But when you start asking, oh my God, why? Why is it like this? Why am I not getting it right? Then you're at that state of consciousness where God can step in and say, let me tell you why. And let me show you why. I feel.
You know, it's interesting you say all of this because I resonate completely. And it's just nice. You're like a mirror to me because I've been on an incredible spiritual journey. And unfortunately, though, for you to be on the path of the spiritual enlightenment, you've got to go through adversity.
Yes.
Because that's where everything is unleashed. It's almost like in the movies, like Spider-Man. He had to go through some trauma before he realized he had these powers.
Yes.
Superman also had to, because we have power within the pain. The pain births the power that is hidden in you. So you can only identify it once you go through the process of it all. So with me, I got to a point where I had to unlearn. I stopped and I looked at my family and I said, this has happened to my mom, it's happened to my father, it's happened to my siblings. This thing of whatever patterns that I was picking up. And then I had to find ways to surrender to God so that I could unlearn what I've been taught growing up. So that I could now learn God's ways for me. So let's tap into your upbringing. Like, where are you from? Where were you born and raised? And were you with siblings in the family? Were your parents in the same house? That kind of environment.
I'm actually processing what you're saying. And I feel like I went around. I didn't necessarily answer you. But when you asked what was the thing, for me, because I'm very open and vulnerable, my thing was divorce. My grandmother got divorced. My mother got divorced. I never made it in my relationship with Babu Mdwanami. So it was like, you know, when the record goes,
Is this the pattern that was recurring to women and women in your bloodline?
Yes. And then nalento le yoguti, I'm for women empowerment. I love it when women are in the driver's seat and they're in control. But it becomes problematic when it starts to kind of affect other areas in the home without divulging kakhulu. So I'll say this. I came from a family of, and now I'm trying to censor myself because someone is going to watch this and they're going to go, ooh, is this what you think of your family? But
I know, but just
to be honest,
be kind, obviously.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
I used to take pride in our ability, and when I say our, the collective, our ability to obliterate ngalento. Yabo lento. I watched the women in my family be able to, because they couldn't hit you physically. Mangabe uyindoda ngithi ngoba anyeke ngifikele. Kodwa ngizokuqhaqha.
And those are the most powerful. I mean, we're made.
I learned that, and I thought I was about it. Yeah, what? And then I remember being told, loose lips sink ships.
Who told you that?
I'm not going to tell you.
Because that's a powerful statement.
It is.
I want to give them props.
Is it?
Loose lips
sink ships.
Sink ships.
So that was the thing in our family. Bekwaziwa nje ukuthi you know, like read. The young ones, they call like they read. Like I come from a family where we can we will
read you. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not cool.
I
I'm
love how
letting
she
you
does
know.
this with
Yeah, it's because it was like, you know. And then like I remember like my mother having an incident saying, ngimlindile, and akanjani actually khona. Uzangithola kahle. And then kahle ngempela uzomthola kahle. You know, like bathi njengenje imnanzi uphuma unje. Uswabile. It's not good.
But does this come? Did you guys have anger issues or something?
Definitely my grandmother.
Oh my goodness, because it sounds like
I'd like to give you history. So Kwakwami, right? Mangwenya was a domestic
okay.
in apartheid time who lost her husband, and she had these 3 beautiful girls to raise. In apartheid, Dobsonville, abekabo malume, abekabo puti. So you can imagine that feminine role and that femininity had to go down, and up went the masculinity, right? Because she had to be umama, no baba. You've got 3 girls. We've got GBV, you know, we've got all sorts of things at the time. So you've got to teach your girls to like, I don't have time for the fact that ulahlekwe ifibob. So there was no time kusuli inyembezi. It was like, you know, like ubani uvusithembe kwaye here the fuck. You don't swear, but he was like here up.
Yeah.
Anginasikhatso inyembezi, like get with it. So the girls got with it. And they didn't drop that survival. They didn't drop that masculinity. So we were raised by really hard women. I remember after a very big breakup, and I was like, I still love him. And she was just like, section your textbook. My mom didn't give me that, come and cry and let me hold you. She was like, section your textbook. She was building me, absolutely.
Right.
But at that moment, I just needed
A bit
to
harsh
be
though.
fragile.
Yeah.
Because she was telling me, like, you're not going to cry over a man. You'd rather cry over a tough section in a textbook that will eventually
Which
build
the
you.
two have no relatability at all.
Absolutely. But she was just like, funda, imele, kala. And I needed, I needed to be held.
I get you.
Yeah.
But as a child growing up though, who raised you?
Okay, so you asked me where I came from.
Yes.
So, Ntombazane Soweto, born, bred, buttered, baked, broken in Johannesburg.
Yes.
Meadowlands, Gokos from Dobsonville, Ubaba was Mfulu.
Okay.
And then we grew up in Meadowlands. It was my sister and I.
I'm also from a Meadowlands.
Zone 9, winner.
Zone 5,
Okay.
Zone 2. Yeah, my father's side of the family was all around the place.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And then my parents were married at a Pentecostal church.
Okay.
Where they bagqoke red and white. And my father, an incredible man, actually, and I lost him in 2023. But just to kind of give you, you
Sorry,
know,
man.
you know, cognizant of iskati. But I grew up in a tight-knit family, mom and dad with a sister, moved from Meadowlands to Naturina, Naturina to Monjo. What broke everything was a divorce that took place at 16.
Okay.
My parents got divorced and then our lives changed. My dad was a breadwinner working for IBM as an account executive and manager. My mom was a school teacher in Mncube. So you can see the disparity between a school teacher's salary and account executive at IBM.
Okay.
And watching my dad also kind of use his financial muscle as a flex and control and abuse is what I witnessed. So I always knew that was not going to be me.
Were you the only child?
I had a sister.
You had?
I have a sister, yes.
Okay, you
yes.
have. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
And how was we've got Les.
Oh, I'm also curious. When did the acting bug hit her? And I know she's mentioned Julia Roberts as one of her inspirations. Do you have any others locally as well you looked up to?
Oh, wow. The acting bug is something my mother identified in me.
Do you think it came because of maybe the trauma that you experienced growing up, that maybe acting was more like therapeutic for you? It became,
Absolutely.
it was an
became
escape. Yeah.
Definitely.
That's how you found your path onto that.
Yes, absolutely. The acting bug is something I think I've been doing all my life. You know, like skule, at Christmas parties or when our parents would have these like get-togethers as Abanda Badal, and how the kids would be in the other room and would be listening to MTV and like trying to dance or keep up with the latest dance routine. And then you know how it is when Abanda Badal have had like the supper and everyone's having sundowners. They're like, "Wazani zosjayivela, wazani zosculela."
Yes.
And oh girl,
I was always
I
that
was
girl.
the one, you know. And then I could never get off stage. They're like, "Okay,
Yes.
yeah, thank you, Thuli," and I'm still like,
Yes.
you know what I mean? So I think my
Yes.
mother identified that, lo, uthanda attention, uthanda ukuba on stage.
You know, when I look at you, and I remember when I first saw you on a magazine and I got to hear of Thuli Thabethe, and you just had such a wholesome look
Thank you.
about you that as you explaining your life and the dynamics, I would have never thought that you had those the slip of the tongue vibes. You looked very reserved and very well put together always. It's so interesting that now that as I get to sit with you, I get to hear your story, because you know we are always wearing masks in the world.
Absolutely.
And also with acting, it's another mask because we get to become other people. We get to live vicariously through other people. So I can see why your mom also saw the potential of you being very successful as an actor, because you could be all these different people
Yes,
and liked the attention of it.
absolutely.
Which I never saw you as a person who likes attention at all in the industry.
I still am not.
Yeah,
It's
you're
really still
not.
about the craft.
Yeah.
He asked me, when did the acting bag? So I didn't even know. So
Yeah.
Khule, may I look at you? Because I don't know how
Yeah,
camera
yeah,
works.
yeah, you
Is-
can.
I mean, like, if you grew up in the hood, you know, ukuthi, like, sadlalisa.
Yes.
Angithi? And then it's either udlala ibhathi or umgusha, or sometimes sidlalisa senza bolingisa and then performing ngoma zako studio mix, or even aboma the Bold and the Beautiful.
Right.
And then you're like, Yimo rich, Yimo broke, Yimo
Yeah.
Taylor. You know what I mean? And that's how you play and all of that. So I think
Yes.
my mom could see I had a lot of energy. I loved attention. And I was really good at dancing and singing. And I could pick up on dance routines and everything. I mean, if you're black, you'll know. Guti, every mother will tell you. If you knew those lyrics, like you knew your work.
Yes. I say that always
You know
to
what
my
I
daughter.
mean? I could give you the boy's mind head to toe with Brandy and Monica. And then my mother being a school teacher is like, if only we knew our schoolwork.
Yeah.
You know. So that's, sorry for kicking you. So that's how the acting bug was identified. My
I
mother.
got you.
Yes.
You wanted to be comfortable and just have your shoes off. You
Yes.
still are more than welcome to
Ngiyabonga.
do as
I
you
will.
feel
Ngiyabonga.
at home here with
I
us.
really feel at home. Nanhle ngiyabonga.
And then Mami Von Chaka Chaka,
Yeah.
legendary, you know,
Yes.
still going strong. She's actually the epitome of longevity, the word longevity. She's been in this for the longest haul. How was your relationship like with her? Because Mncane wako, right?
Yes.
Because she is sisters to your mom.
Yes.
How was your relationship with her growing up? I mean, she's famous, so everybody would want to know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sure. So I call her Voni because that's what my grandfather used to call her. And they had such a good relationship from what I hear. So he'd always come on a Friday and, you know, like just always as the last born, you know, I'm patele something and he'd go, Voni, you know. So I picked that up and I absolutely loved it. So she was always like hip being a musician. So bekangafuna bomamncane. Like, I know cookies, I don't call me auntie anything. So it was a cool thing to say
Yes,
Bonnie.
yes.
So growing up, it was
So you were close to her because you kept her young.
yes, and umamncane. So I felt like I gravitated towards her because you could, you know, like ngesintu says it's important ukuthi ube nomuntu okwazi ukuhleba umama akho naye.
Okay.
If you know what I mean.
I got you.
Uma ngifuna ukumpayisa, hey, usisi wakho, hayi, ukhulume naye. 'Cause
Yeah.
she was the younger one, she was the more lenient and cool, and she was able to speak to my mom when she's being rigid. So I
Wow.
liked that about her. But other than the fact that every time she came around, my face would literally light up. And being a star, she was always in the latest. So I was always just ready to wear sunglasses, her shoes, her bag, steal her perfumes, you know, my lipstick and everything. So it was almost like having an older sister. And then the older I became, then obviously I started to recognize, no, we're not sisters, and we're not on the same side. Like there's the children and the adults. And they'd make it very clear.
And you are on the children's
That
side.
you're the children.
Yeah,
Okay, no,
yeah.
that's just now, but I wish you're still a child.
Yeah.
So having someone like Voni in my life was the first person who kind of showed me what it could be if you just dreamed and looked outside of yourself. I mean, she was the one that made it from Dobsonville, so it was like, hey, you're a North Star, big win.
Wow.
You know, you could do
Sure.
it. You know,
And how did the family, especially back in those times, treat her? I mean, being the celebrity that she was already. Because I know family, you know, your sister, her sisters, your mom, you know, the other aunt you have.
yes, she was definitely the star of the
Okay.
family. And we also grew up with our cousins. And you also recognize certain dynamics as grandchildren, which
Okay.
there are some kids that were equal, but not all of us are equal. Because, and my grandmother was so hardcore. Like, she'd tell my mom straight up, which like, we've only and she was like, Ma,
Isn't it crazy?
no, but it's like crazy. It's Dobsonville. I think she was an
my
endearment, but like she
goodness.
kept it real.
So
Like
favoritism
100.
went to Auntie
Absolutely.
Yvonne.
Auntie Yvonne's kids, you know what
my
I mean? And then
goodness.
and they were boys, right? And my mom only had my sister
I
and
got you. I
so
hear
the
you.
dynamic of makuthiwa hamba niyophaga, obviously kuzobhekwa thina.
Yeah.
Izitsha thina, hamba
Yeah.
niyoklina thina, and the boys would just literally lounge and relax. And then those were the gender roles that were very much predicted or prescribed for us, Ekaya.
Sure. And then how did you then make your way into the entertainment space? Were you like guided by somebody, or did you navigate entering the entertainment industry in terms of the acting? I don't know what you started off exactly doing, but once you entered into the space,
Yes.
was it helped by somebody, your aunt, Sis Yvonne, or did you just find yourself on your own in that space?
Okay, so we grew up in the South, right? And the schools, the options after Mayerdale Primary would be Mondio. My mom was like, you're not going to Mondio High. You're not doing a Parktown Girls. You're crazy. I'm taking you to the National School of Arts. So I went to the National School of Arts and majored in speech and drama from grade 8
Girl,
to
that was like
grade 12.
prestige.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So like I owe my mom a lot. So she was just like, you're not, so she sent me to an art school where I learned the techniques and everything about being a performer. So almost like I was groomed for it. And obviously there was this North Star being my aunt that kind of gave me permission. Which, well, if you could do it, I could do it too.
Right.
And I was very cognizant of not going into the same path because obviously it's going to be harder. Mangabe ngiyacula, right? But acting wasn't always the first thing I did.
It wasn't the first
So
thing that I
fresh out
knew.
of high school, I was
Yeah.
signed to Gallo Records and I was part of a group called Seed.
Whoa. Okay, who was in the group?
It was myself, Uvelapi, Patrick, and we were basically at the stable when it was still under the direction of Ubutsi Postole. And at the time they had just signed Tandi Samazwai, Simpiwe Dana, and Squatter Camp.
Got a camp.
You
I
know,
remember
was signed to
Seed.
them, and we were that Afro acoustic soul group, and we were way ahead of our time.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you guys were in the what is it called, Ghana? That pop, that genre of music.
It was called Afro pop.
Afro pop.
Yes.
Because you kind of started that genre as well. So what
Not
happened?
really.
It was already there. But
it
you were
was
one
like-
of the first groups in that space.
So actually, it was Afro pop, ne? And then there was the Afro soul. And at the time, Mafiki Zolo was doing incredibly well, and
Yes,
Malaika.
yes.
So I think the marketing execs were like, we also need a group nga, because it was like a
Yes.
trio. So Malaika, Mafiki Zolo,
Got
and
you.
then it was Seed. So it was
I
one
remember
girl and two
Seed.
guys.
So what happened to the group, Seed? I remember you guys.
Well, now that I'm older and wiser and stronger, I'm very good. I can actually speak about this. I think I went through a case of bullying and sexual harassment.
In the group.
Yeah, no, well, within the company where there's some executives that want to date you and be with you or sleep with you, and you're 19. You know what I mean? Like I'm young, I'm attractive, I'm talented. And
Fresh
there's always
out the oven.
some guy who thinks they can do. And so I was very, very vocal. And then I told my mom and my aunt about it, and they were just like, oh, Qala, you don't even have a degree. So
Key punching.
and then I got released. I got 600 Rand from my royalties, and I never looked back. Keeping it real.
Sure.
But I imali ku-industry, guys.
I got 600 rands
I
from
need to back
my...
from my album sales. But siyakureleasa, here's your clearance. Ngathola i-check yasegalo ye-600 rand.
Did they replace you in the group?
I think they tried.
With some girl? Nah, I think so.
Angisakhumbuli. Kwavele
Kwabheda nje.
kwabona when you're chosen, mawuhamba na konke.
Yebo, they
Shabalala.
shabalalad.
Yes.
But then I remember then I was introduced properly to you individually when you were on a cover of one of the magazines back in the time when obviously print media was running things. And you were then introduced as the lover of Mr. Tebow Touch. I had to go, you know, a Tebow Touch, girl. So how did you and Tebow Touch meet and how did the relationship start?
So we were doing a promo, right? Galo Records had basically done a whole run where you do a rollout of radio, what is it called? PR?
Yes.
Right? So we did the Metro FM thing. And Zach Dagile and Tebow Touch were basically presenting Rhyme and Reason on the Saturdays between 6 to 9. On a Saturday, they do the hip hop slot.
On where? Metro.
Oh, yeah, we can say it, right? Yeah, Rhyme and Reason on Metro FM
Okay.
on a Saturday.
Yes.
So here I am. I'm in, like, literally, I'm in my jeans. I'm in my pink. It's important for me to tell the story. I'm in my pink.
Was this when you were on Seed, in the
Yes,
group Seed?
I was still part
so
of Seed.
you were meant to be on Seed so you could meet your lover? Okay, let's carry on
I
the
will
story.
say yes.
Yeah.
I
Everything
will say
happens for a
yes
reason.
In principle, right? Because I don't think I went into that to meet him. But yes, I did it.
It was the
and that
vehicle
the
to meet. Okay.
So I'm there doing my thing. We're at Metro. They're going to interview you and ask you all these questions. And then this guy comes in. Akakwazi nokuhlala still, ne? Uyangena, literally. Like double XL t-shirt. He's wearing a do-rag. He's wearing Royal Elastic.
Oh my goodness, you sound like him there.
He's wearing Evisu jeans, right? And obviously I clocked this because I'm into my rocker wear. You know, I'm into my MTV at the time.
Yeah.
And he was holding my phone that looked like a console. It was like the Nokia.
Engage.
No.
Nokia. It's she finding the console, the
Engage.
PlayStation.
Yes.
Yeah, when he's busy, she's there. I'm going and I'm just like, who is this guy? Oh, I was still. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? And then I don't pay him no mind because like, busy. Yeah, but busy.
Celebrate.
So Nkubeka, and then I say something on air, and then he turns around and he's like, okay, you know, like I think he had just come back from New York with the perception, which like, you know, pretty girls in South Africa can't articulate themselves. So I kind of dropped some knowledge, you know. And then after the radio interview, he was like, yeah, you know, I like what you said about being an acid. Gosh, I'd like your number. And I lied to him and I said, I'm from Scottsdale, New York, you know, and I'd never been to Scottsdale. You know what I mean? And then I gave him my number. And that evening he went out and lost his phone and never got it. So he had to circle back to the...
He was probably using a BlackBerry, ne?
It was still those Nokias.
Nokia with the keyboard.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
keyboard, yeah,
Sure.
Yeah,
And they
well,
were hot back then.
yeah, my nickname music video. I'm sure you grew up on the music videos where like the guys who
Got
do the
you.
music video and then like, can I have your number? And then it flips out.
But he was also very westernized like that. So he probably shelled you the way the music video guys did it, right?
yeah, well, that was it. Like,
Yeah.
I like what you said. We exchanged numbers and then he lost his phone and he never, but somehow he managed to track me. And he found the numbers, and we started speaking, and that's how we met at Metro FM when I was doing an interview as a girl member of the Seed.
In the band,
Yeah.
you were a singer.
Yes.
And then, how did the relationship develop? Is he romantic? Did he woo you? Did he court you? Like, how did he do it to get you to fall in love with him like that?
Like, yeah, he was a great listener. I remember the first. Yeah, he was quite. I mean, I don't want to talk about Thabo so much, but I might as well. He got me my first Billie Holiday and Nina Simone original albums because I told him that's the kind of music I was into.
Yes.
And then the following time I saw him, he got me a Nina Simone and Billie Holiday album. He bought me books. He introduced me to a book called The Four Agreements by Don Miguel. And he taught me the first one was not to take things personally and to be impeccable with my word. So it was very, you know, and obviously I'd been exposed. So like all the restaurants, he was trying to take me out to like my aunt and being, you know, being and having an aunt like Uvon, we were doing some really nice restaurants. So the restaurant I had picked.
She's basically saying I was living a soft life.
Yes,
already.
and that was the restaurant.
Before the man.
The restaurant I had picked also kind of took him back as a 19-year-old Gucci. Like, I'm not saying McDonald's or something. It was like, it was like,
You know
it
things.
was the Coachman's Inn.
You know
because,
things. I remember Coachman's and then
like Peter
Bryanston.
Place. Yeah, and he was like,
Peter Place,
who brought
yes.
you here? And I'm like, that's what we do around here. My nigga.
So you guys were together for how many years, Ghana? Because
I
it was
met Thabo
long.
when I was 19. We broke up when I was 26.
Sure. You were basically married. Kind of. There's a son.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there's a child involved.
And how old is your son now?
He's 16.
6. Wow.
Wow.
Yes.
Nikhulisile mos.
Siyabonga.
So then what, just the last question about him. What was
I don't mind.
what was the reason for the end? Because it was kind of romantic, seeing you guys on the covers. And I just thought, so perfect.
That's what I also thought. I mean, and actually, now that I was telling my sister this a week ago, I actually...
You were like a power couple.
Because I saw my aunt and my uncle, like I saw my aunt being Yvonne and my uncle being Dr. Minga go to certain events together. And I was just
nice.
like, oh, look at them. They're like, there's a Beyonce and a Jay-Z.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I want my Beyonce and Jay-Z.
Exactly.
And growing
you
up, that's
deserve
what it
that
felt
story.
like. It did. I was a singer, being with Beyonce,
Yes.
and Thabo was like this hip-hop guy.
Exactly.
And he was my Jay-Z. And we did well. But I think we were young. I had Rui when I was 24. He was 28. So a lot happened in our 20s.
Yeah.
And there were a lot of pressures. And we broke up because we didn't make it. I don't want to speak so much because like he's grown so much.
It's okay.
And he's done so well for himself with Unandi. I don't want to be keeping.
Let's talk about then the healing. Was he one of those relationships that broke your heart? Obviously,
Absolutely.
right.
Absolutely.
Let's talk for like another young girl or guy that's going through something similar, a breakup with somebody that they really saw a lifetime together with. What's the process of healing through such? Because breakups really can break the heart,
Especially public ones.
Especially
Yeah.
public ones. I don't even know how that even works out because
Yeah.
everybody now, I'm sure the whole family be phone. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I'm at a place in my life where I'd like to be very honest. And it's not like nimkhuluma gabi or anything. But, there's just a high level of respect that I have for him. But like I said, 28, 24,
Got you.
both in the industry, there were pressures,
Yeah.
right, that I think took place in the setup. And we were pressured ukushada, and I don't think we were ready to. Our parents
Yeah.
were like, we're Christians. We had you in the marriage. The least you can do is honor us and dignify umntwaneni by having him in a marriage. But we were not ready for that. And so
Yeah.
things, ended. And I'm not going to lie. I mean, it was widely reported there was infidelity at the time. And that's why we broke up. It was pressures and that he had stepped out at the time and being young and, being touched. And, temptations, I guess,
How did then all of that affect Thuli going forward in your life, personally and career-wise? How did that breakup really impact?
It did. It impacted me in a very profound way.
Yeah.
Because I'm older now. At the time, it was like the worst thing that could ever happen to me. But now that I'm older, wiser, and stronger, and I look back, it broke me because a lot of the dynamics that I experienced in my relationship was very indicative of what my mom and dad was going through. So whatever Thabo had done to me, I think my father had done first.
Yeah.
Lying, betraying.
It was just
heartbreaking.
He was
Dad
just
had already
another
done
vessel
that.
used to
Yeah.
repeat the cycle,
Yeah.
just in a different body.
Exactly. So it reminded me a lot of the things that I witnessed my mom and my dad go through. And it pained me. Wow, like I always thought I'm not going to be my mom. And here I am.
Ish.
Like that's me. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
I'm not going to go through this like my mom went through. And I found myself going through the same thing. So that was quite an eye-opener. But at the time, I didn't even recognize the trauma itself. I was just like, it's a public breakup. It's humiliating. It breaks you. It makes you isolate. It makes you want to hide. It makes you question yourself as a
Feels,
woman.
don't you also feel like you're not good enough?
You don't feel good enough. I became incredibly insecure.
Yes.
And I think that's when my biggest depressive symptoms had kind of shown up. But at the time, I didn't know. I was like, this is what you go through when you break up with a father of your baby. This is what you go through when you're this age. And I didn't realize what a depressive spell it would bring about in my life.
So you said that you grew up Christian, and I want to touch on spirituality as well with you. I'm not very religious per se, but
I'm glad because I thought we were going to have like a whole rema.
no, I'm very open
I
minded.
follow you.
No,
I'm like, oh,
I'm
no,
I'm very open minded. I'm very much more actually spiritually inclined than anything else because I also believe that God has a relationship with people individually, not necessarily collectively. You go to church for that, but you have relationship with God. So during your just upbringing, since you come from a Christian background, did you practice Christianity within your life itself and in picking a man? Because now that I know and I have a relationship with God and I've studied a bit of theology, I'm very knowledgeable about what God requests and requires from you as his child. So do you look back and say, I had departed from my father due to this and that, and maybe you can identify maybe those were some of the reasons to cause maybe some of the hurdles in relationships and maybe the path? I don't know if I'm making sense.
Marcos, forgive me.
Am I making sense?
You are. So I want to go back to the religious aspect. I'm glad you're not religious or highly religious.
No, not at all.
Because I'm also spiritual, highly spiritual.
Yeah.
For me, when someone asks me this question, they go, what is the difference between religion and spirituality?
Very different.
For me, it's like picture a fishbowl, right? A fishbowl has the fish and the coral reef inside the fishbowl. For me, that's religion because the parameters of that bowl are what tell you, Whereas spirituality for me is the ocean.
I'm in the ocean, darling.
Right? I mean, as long as you can roam free, as long as you're in the ocean.
Yes.
So for me, the ocean is spirituality and the religion is the fishbowl.
Yes.
So the second...
You just explained it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So the second question is how my Christianity informed me picking a man or saying yes to Thabo specifically or my relationships.
No, just as in... were you aligned with him? Like,
well,
sometimes you remember the Bible says we must what, sihambe nabantu
equally yoked.
equally
Darling.
Uyabona nje,
You're preaching to the choir.
isn't njalo? And then when I look back some of the things, I'm like, oh, actually here I didn't get the memo because I wasn't aware of the Bible when I was younger. So a lot of decisions I made, I didn't have the knowledge that I probably have now.
Absolutely. And I'm answering you based on the 19-year-old at the time. I'm 40 now, right?
Yeah.
So for me, it was like, what does this dating coach says? Like in the first few moments of dating, it's all about similarities. So for me, what as a 19-year-old,
I wasn't
we clicked because he's on the 4th of April, I'm on the 5th of April.
Yeah.
Right?
Wow.
Yeah.
He's an Aries, I'm an Aries.
Oh my.
I'm the singer, he's the DJ.
Oh my goodness. It was a match
And
made in heaven.
my aunt did make a song, said I'm in love with the DJ. So I was like, oh, here you up here, right?
The combos are communicating.
I'm in love with the DJ. I'm like, there he is.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then the second one was that he was the son of a preacher.
Yeah.
So I thought I was safe because I'm with umntwana womfundisi. And my mom and my dad and my aunt and all of them grew up in the church. So it was like, safe as long as it's not in my jimbos.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that's the toughest space because
Exactly.
that's where the attacks come the most. The children of God are the ones that also get the most.
But ubuzongitshela at 19. Ubuzongitshelani at 19.
That's why I'm saying. That is why I'm having you here because I think young people that will watch, they'll learn from this, and we're not enforcing this down their throats. But this is about sharing this kind of information we now have gathered in this longevity of our journey. Yeah, that's basically why I'm saying like it's important for us to just impart. Yes, you have a question?
Yeah, I actually wanted to
You wrote it down.
get back to the acting. I mean, Thuli, you're a legend. You know, you've been part of some big productions.
This one likes your acting. He always takes us back to the acting.
Isidingo, City Settler. You know, a part of big productions. What has been your favorite? And yeah, has there been a role that's just stuck with you and you couldn't let go?
Sure. It's a tough question. That I couldn't let go or shake off.
Shake off. Yes.
Definitely Pumzile. I mean, Pumzile opened the doors for me as an actress. And I think it's also important to pay homage to her because she's the reason I won a SAFTA, right? So she's just like she's the character that catapulted me into industry. It was like that, everybody says your breakout role. That was my breakout role. So that's the one that doesn't leave me alone because I think after playing Pumzile, I've played older versions of Pumzile in the sense that Pumzile fell in love with Utemba and she was a gold digger. Beauty on Isibaya is in love with a taxi boss.
Wow.
So there is like
I love that.
Yeah, well, like a thingy.
Thread.
A thread of being a woman who's after certain things.
Yeah.
But yeah.
It's fun to play.
It is fun.
I can see you also playing the girl who comes from the church background, or Shakdile Esontweni, even maybe to the pastor's son. I can see you play a character like that, and I can also see you playing the character of being, the opposite of that,
Yeah.
because I feel like you have experienced enough in your life to be able to tap into all those different personality traits.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Have I answered your question?
What would be your dream role if I had to write you a script? What would be the dream role that Thuli would like to play right now, where you feel like you could just fit right into it?
Because I'm very confrontational, I think I'd play a good badass advocate.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Nice. That's dope.
Like giving an Annalise Keating
That's
or something like
dope.
Olivia
I
Pope,
love that.
Another role I think I'd do well in is if I'd play like a head surgeon of a hospital or like a detective. Because a lot of people kind of cast me based on my looks and don't really know how athletic and strong I am.
That's why I'm seeing
And stuff.
seeing
so
that
I kick ass too. I do stage combat. So it's all about what they write for you. Oh, well, mind you, they see me as a rich man's wife, and I'm happy because clearly that's the energy I have.
But that's not letting you play the different characters that you have within you. You have a question?
Yes. I just wanted to know, honestly, is there money in the industry, in the acting industry, to be specific?
Because I think also in the States, they give royalties to actors, and that's been a major issue. So what do you think financially in terms of the industry, the structure, what does it need?
Well, I think when I was doing this in my 20s, it felt like there was opportunity in terms of money to be made. Excuse me. Now, because there's a lot more on offer, it feels like there's more variety, more on offer in terms of work, but the rates have dropped. The standard has dropped. The respectability of our industry has dropped. So these are the things that make it non-regulated. And to answer your question, I don't think there's enough money as actors to be made. There isn't. We're definitely not earning as much as the musicians and presenters are as actors.
And with the talent we have, we should be second to Hollywood,
Absolutely.
Nollywood.
We should be able to actually take 2 jobs a year because it's paying me so well and I'm earning royalties from other work that's being syndicated elsewhere. I mean, Isibaya is being like, you watch yourself
All over the world.
Nigerian and like, but that's me. And you're there dubbed in another language and, channels tell you straight up, we don't pay residuals, we don't pay repeat fees. So you sign on your contract on that fee and you just hope for the best because you don't know how many reruns it's going to get. You don't know when it's going to repeat. You just hope for the best. I just pray which it will cover.
So if you're not working and you're now at home because there's no work, how are you making money as an actress? As a
In
woman,
general or me?
in general for you,
Okay,
yes.
for
As a
well-
woman who's also studied at the National School of the Arts, what else are you doing as backup? Because I also feel, yes, we can have a fault at the industry, but what is the individual also doing for themselves? That if that job is not available, you can't really sit and wait for a job.
True.
Yeah.
So to answer in general, I think it is really difficult for actresses in general, whether you're booked and busy or not, because even if you're booked and busy for that time, the production literally owns you. You can't do any other work because Monday to Friday, 6 to 6, 12 hours a day, 18 scenes a day, you're locked in.
Yes.
You know, and so you can't really do other productions. So even if you're booked, you're committed to that production. And if you want to visit other sets or do other work, you constantly need approval and the green light from the production to do that. So you're still kind
Which
of
sometimes
caged
they'll
in.
say no because
nje.
about food.
No, kuya ngokuthi ubani.
It's because the politics, girl,
Exactly.
they're enough to make a person lose their,
But for me, specifically, is I will say this: I don't have a syndrome yokuthi okokuqala abantu bazothini nokuthi I don't do certain work because my debit orders don't know that. So if I have to work as a production assistant, coordinator, if I have to work as a strategist, do voice work, teach, I do it. I don't have this thing yokuthi Thuli Thabethe ngivele TV ngoba mina my debit orders go off on the 1st and the 15th and they don't care who I am. They go off. So I have commitments that I have financial obligations that I must meet. So because of those, I make it a point that I do work. And I think I do speak from a point of privilege.
Okay.
Whereas you do have an aunt of who she is, right? So ngitsheliwe,
so kuphi imali?
akangiphi, right? But she always told me to get educated. You must always have a plan B. And I'd be like, yeah, but you're doing well. So the fact that she was Yvonne Chaka Chaka doing well as Yvonne Chaka Chaka, and she's telling me, go to school. I got my impetus to get education because I was like, if you're at your helm and you're telling me to go to school, then I gotta go to school.
I'm gonna listen to you.
You know what I mean? And then Baby Stella about the people she started with. I don't want to name drop, but
And they're not
you know what I mean?
here
And
today.
they're not there. So she was just like, you know, I'm privileged, I'm blessed, and I'm also akayenzi ngamandla wakhe. But she's also just made sure that she makes the transition from being musician to businesswoman. So I watched
She's
that.
really, and also marrying well. She
Yes,
married a
absolutely.
man who contributed in the household, a doctor. You know, I think it's also very important to choose the partnership you're going to have, because if you're the only one carrying the household and you've got a husband who's not doing as much, it's really hard on one person.
Absolutely.
In this life.
I think she did well. I
Yeah.
think Wabo and Jorge busy mo.
Yeah.
I'm not about
Yeah.
to date another musician. And she went from being a musician to
Yeah.
dating a doctor.
Yeah.
I think that definitely gave her a lot of grounding
Yes.
and respect.
I think I'd love to have her on longevity. We must
Please
hook it
do.
up.
Be like, do you want me to call her right
We
now?
must hook it up. We must definitely hook it up and see if she'd be keen. But I think she would be, because
think she
I
would
saw
be.
her last year at an event and she was just so amazing. She actually told me that I was the first influencer in South Africa. She says,
Yes.
yes, you're the first influencer.
Originally.
OG.
And I just
Original.
laughed. I said, she's like, it's just that at that time, it wasn't called that. It was called brand endorsement.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, she's actually very right. You
Correct.
know, so
Quincy.
I really
Ahead of
I
your
really-
time.
Yeah, thank you guys. so like, what is the just quickly on back to just the entertainment industry and you being in the arts? What is stopping you also from running your own production house where you're pitching shows and you're out there on Netflix, Showmax, and you've got your own series? Why is it harder for actors, actresses to do that, to create their own production houses? Is it the amount of work involved? Or is it the connections that they feel they don't have? What are the...
I think it's a variety of things.
Yeah.
First of all, I think it's the way training takes place. You know, when you go to an art school, it's all about the craft.
Yeah.
You know, you did ballet, so you did, right? I'm assuming, like, you know that it's all about the plie and the pirouette and getting that right.
Right.
So I think it as an artist, the perfection of the craft becomes the way that we are taught. It's about, if you could just do that and be great at that, everything will come. So we're not inculcated in a way that teaches us to write, direct, produce,
Yeah.
or double up.
And to do the
'Cause
business
to
side
do
of
the
it.
business side. So that's one. Two, what you said, I think it is the amount of work, and what you've also said about the perception of not having certain connections to do it. Some people do think that they need to be certain people affiliated with certain people to do it, you know. But to answer for me is I've never really wanted to kind of own
Anything like that in that
terms of
space.
in the
production.
space.
Okay.
I've been more interested in seeing how I can combine the elements of business and arts and see and put that in a melting pot and see what comes out of it, you know, because of influence. You know, like I was like, I'm not going to be those poor actors and I'm not going to, you know, struggle till I'm 50 something waiting on a script.
No.
You know, so it's more like I'm prepared to do what I'm called to do.
Right.
I don't know if I've answered your question.
No, you've answered me, and I want to help you on the journey going ahead, and as you are preparing to do what you're
I'm
called to do. I want to give you my supplements range so that I can equip you on the journey ahead, because you still got a lot of work to do and impact society, impact young people that have always looked up to you. So I want you to be healthy in body, mind, and spirit. So this is your package of longevity wellness.
Award-winning.
Award-winning.
So
This
yeah,
is
so that's for you
incredible.
to open at home and just to enjoy. And you guys at home, thank you so much for tuning in. It's the end of this incredible episode. Hopefully you've learned a lot from the beautiful ruler of self, Miss Thuli Thabethe.
Oh, yes.
Until next time, God bless everybody.
Thank you so much for having me.
Pleasure.